And let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it on a Sunday fun day. Okay. Boom, boom, bam. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of the Great Debate Show. This, however, is an emergency podcast edition of the Great Debate Show. And why is that? Because we have breaking news today. It was said that the Kevin Durant trade was coming, and it was coming soon. Last week we heard in a few days. Those few days took a little longer than expected, but it's now officially done. Kevin Durant has been traded to the Houston Rockets. That's right, he's been traded to the Houston Rockets. The Phoenix Suns are finally trading the two-time NBA Finals MVP, Kevin Durant, to the Rockets. It's for Jalen Green. It's for Dillon Brooks. It's for the 2025 number 10 pick. And it's for some more draft picks, either this year or next year. I think it's like, five second-round picks. That's it. Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, this year's number 10 pick, and 5 second-round picks. 5. But they're all second-round picks, though, and I don't know the years on those. So what do y'all think about the trade? The Rockets get Kevin Durant. That's it. I don't think they've got anything else. I don't see a pick swaps or not another player or anything like that. Jalen Green, I wasn't very fond of. He's all right, but offense is what they needed, and we found that out when they lost round 1 to the Warriors. They should have beat the Warriors. They had what it takes. Sengun, my boy Steven Adams, who I miss so much here in Memphis with the Grizzlies. They had more. They got the defense. What they were lacking were offense. They were lacking scores on the perimeter. Now, what's good about this trade is that Fred VanVleet is not in it. And I thought that maybe Phoenix were going to demand VanVleet, but no. They got Jalen Green and they got Dillon Brooks. So you got Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks coming over to Phoenix to join Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. Kevin Durant is now a Houston Rocket. Do you all think this was the best place for Kevin Durant to go? You think this was his best destination? I, for one, kind of think so, because I was telling you, he needs to go somewhere where he's more needed, and the team doesn't have to give up much for his talents. And the Houston Rockets was just a Kevin Durant away in that backcourt. Their perimeter was just not good enough scoring-wise. That's why they couldn't finish the Warriors. And kudos for them, taking it to Game 7, but they shouldn't have lost that series, and they did, because they lack a scorer. Now, how you pronounce his name, Idama Udoka, a great coach, just got extended. The Houston Rockets are on their way. And that's why it's very imperative that the OKC Thunder win this championship tonight in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, because if they don't, Kevin Durant is now a Houston Rocket. And the Houston Rockets were not a bad team without him. I'm okay with them losing Dillon Brooks. I was okay with us losing Dillon Brooks in Memphis. I'm okay with the Rockets losing him. Jalen Green, he's cool, but he wasn't aggressive enough. He's not the best shooter. He's okay. For you to just give up those 2 players and those draft picks, this year's number 10 pick and 5 second-round picks in the foreseeable future, they didn't give up as much as... That's not a bad trade to me as far as what Houston had to give up. I thought that Phoenix was going to demand a Fred VanVleet and a Jalen Green. I didn't think Dillon Brooks would be, on the Suns' radar. To me, that's just like a consolation prize. Who really wants Dillon Brooks outside of the just, pissing people off and getting technical fouls and all of that stuff? Which, if you can't give it to me on the offensive side and score, or shut down somebody defensively, then what good does Dillon Brooks really do? Sometimes he begins to be more of a headache than, he's a fake ass Draymond Green, but he's not Draymond Green. Draymond Green really does help his team and can lead his team. You don't really get that from Dillon Brooks, but he's okay. But the fact that the Rockets only gave up him and Jalen Green, 2 guys who really don't score, but you can use him on the defensive side, and Jalen Green can score, but he's not the best shooter. And that's why they didn't win the series against Golden State. So I think this is actually the best place for him to have, landed. Would I have loved to see him in San Antonio playing next to Victor Wembanyama and that spacing that he would have created for the Spurs offense? I would have. But this team is ready. Houston is ready to go. And this rocket is about to take off. Houston, we have a problem. What do y'all think about this trade? I want to say good grand rising to Best Football and JJ Edits. He says, yo, I agree. Thank you for joining me, brother. Grand rising, kings and queens. Sunday fun day in this biatch. Countdown to Sundays to NFL Sunday returns. We're going to have a lot of stuff to play around with as far as these great debates go after tonight's Game 7. When the NBA Finals is officially over, I come back tomorrow. We'll chop it up, of course, about the game, and we'll talk about this KD trade, but it's time to move on. What's going to happen in free agency in the NBA? Now that this KD trade, the domino effect has started, what else happens now? Does Giannis stay put with the Bucks? Does everybody else stay put? Is this the end? Is this it? And then we'll move on to training camp. Let's get ready for training camp in the NFL. How y'all feeling today? TikTok, what's up? Aaron said, who do you have winning tonight? I got to keep rolling with OKC, man. That's who I picked in the very beginning of the season. I picked the Thunder to win the series. To win the championship. I had them beating Boston, so I got to roll with them. And I had them winning this finals in 6, and now here it is at 7. So they've already proved me wrong a little bit. They could prove me wrong all the way. Who knows? But y'all, this is according to Shams at ESPN. Kevin Durant is now a Houston Rocket. Polar Dreams in the building says, okay. Chippy, you as a Suns fan, I'm not a Suns. Oh, yo, as a Suns fan, how do you see this trade going for the Suns? Well, Dillon Brooks and Jalen Green, you've got some defense. You've got a little more scrap, a little bit more physicality, to the team, but I'm not a fan of Dillon Brooks. I was glad when he left Memphis. He wasn't doing anything for our offense, and he wasn't shutting down anybody really on defense. He was just pissing people off and getting double texts ejected and all of that. I don't need that if you're not going to lead the team and if you're not going to be productive like Draymond can. Draymond finds a way. Even though you get sick of his shit, he finds a way for you to say he's the heart and soul of this team. We can't get rid of Draymond. You don't feel that way about Dillon Brooks. Now, Jalen Green, I'm not a big fan of him either, but he's all right. He can score, but he's not the best shooter. But you know what? You don't really need them to score that much because Devin Booker is your number one guy. Bradley Beal, I don't know if he'll start or come off the bench, but he's another scorer. So you've got 2 shooters in Booker and Beal, and you've got Jalen Green, who's somewhere in between, but he will still score. And what does he average? About 18, 20? And whatever you'll get from Dillon Brooks, that's not a big 4, but it's like I said, if we were playing spades, it would be like 2 books and 2 possibles. So it's not a bad look for the Suns. It's not. But I just thought the Phoenix Suns should have blew the whole thing up. Like, they should be trying to trade Devin Booker right now, in my opinion. They should be trying to trade him too. I don't know if they can still compete in the Western Conference with that roster. What they do with the picks, who knows? They've got 5 second-round picks. They've got that number 10 pick for this draft coming up Wednesday. So we'll see. But for me, I think Houston looks like the winner here because they didn't give up Fred VanVleet. They didn't give up Steve Adams, or I know they weren't giving up Sengun, but they didn't have to give up somebody that I really would have said, oh, but now you lost him, so now you're kind of defeating the purpose. No. Fred VanVleet stays in that backcourt. Kevin Durant is added to that backcourt. You still got Sengun, and this was the best place for him to go. I really did. And maybe the Spurs were like number 2 or 3. But this is good. The OKC Thunder better win the championship tonight because if they don't, there's no guarantee they'll be back in the finals next year. The Houston Rockets are good enough and well coached enough to be the next team representing the West in the NBA Finals next year, now that this trade has happened. Now, I'm still going with Dallas. I kind of think Dallas with Cooper Flag, Kyrie, AD, Lively, and all of that, PJ Washington if he stays, if he doesn't leave, even if he does leave, I like Dallas in the West. But now with Dallas coming back next year, the Houston Rockets are coming back with KD in their backcourt. We don't know what the Lakers are going to do. We don't know if Minnesota's going to make any changes. Jimmy Butler's coming back with the Warriors. If the Lakers get their big, if the Warriors can get a big, the West is just as deep as it's ever been. And OKC needs to win tonight first before we even think about talking about a dynasty. Because there are some teams right now that I just named that have something to say about that dynasty shit. Which is why I'm not sure. What's up to Kareem in the building? He says, no way. He must didn't like that trade. Kareem said, I just saw he got traded and knew you would be live streaming. I'm glad you did, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. Yes, I'm here, I'm back, and I'm better than ever, baby. Up in this biatch. Thank you, Kareem. I appreciate it. He says, OKC, baby. I'm going OKC, too. They better win tonight, y'all, because I'm telling you, the Rockets, the Mavericks, if the Lakers get a big, if the Timberwolves, I don't know what the Timberwolves need to do, get somebody that can knock down that corner three a lot more consistent. But I'm glad they didn't have to trade McDaniels or Alexander Walker or, Rudy Gobert. I'm glad they didn't have to do any of that. They were the most aggressive, and they still didn't land KD because they decided to fold and said, hey, wait a minute. If he doesn't want to commit, we're not giving up anything or all of this for him, who's just going to play 1 year if he doesn't find a way to not play that 1 year. He didn't want to go to Minnesota. We don't know why. Maybe we'll find out, but he didn't want to go to the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I don't blame Minnesota for not making that trade. I don't blame them for not pulling the trigger. But out of all of the teams, from the Heat, the Timberwolves, the Rockets, the Spurs, and possibly the Timberwolves, this was the best spot, in my opinion. All I was saying last month, 2 months ago, when they were playing the Warriors, all I was saying watching that round one series was that the Warriors are going to probably find a way to win this series, but they're not supposed to. If the Rockets don't beat them, and it went 7 games, give the Rockets credit for that. I said, man, they need like a KD or something. I hate to say it, but they need something like that. Maybe a DeMar DeRozan for a consolation prize. Maybe a Cam Johnson from Brooklyn. But they need a shooter that's more consistent. They couldn't buy a shot when they needed it the most. Well, they got that chance now. They got that shooter. Mind you, he will miss 20 games, 25 games. But the Rockets are so good defensively, and they're very well coached. We talk about how good OKC was this year. Who was the second best defensive team? I believe it was the Houston Rockets. They are good too. And now that you add KD and you didn't have to lose Fred VanVleet, I think this is huge. So with the Rockets on the rise, the Mavericks are coming back on the rise. If the Lakers get a big, if the Warriors get a big, if Minnesota figures out what to do or who to put with Ant in Minnesota, or if they say we're going to trade Rudy Gobert and we're going to get somebody that can score more at that position. I know Miami wouldn't do it, but what if the Timberwolves could get Bam Adebayo for Rudy Gobert and maybe an Alexander Walker and some picks? Or I don't know, maybe that would be an even swap. Rudy Gobert is the defensive player of the year candidate damn near every year. So I don't know, but Bam is more suitable for Minnesota. I don't know what Minnesota's going to do. All I'm trying to say is that these teams in the West aren't getting any weaker. They're not getting any worse. They're getting better. So before we start talking about dynasties, the Thunder need to win the championship tonight first. And even if they do, it ain't no guarantee they're going back. I'm not saying they still won't be the best team on paper, but there's still no guarantee that they will be back because of what just took place. All right, let me read some of these comments here. Kareem says, Cavs all the way next year, though. I don't know, man. We'll see. I really wanted to see what Cleveland was going to bring to the table this year, but hey, man, them Pacers, man, they had something else in mind, and that's why they're still playing right now tonight, and they made it all the way to the final Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Nobody's playing it again after tonight. That shows how hard they fight. But I would have loved to have seen it. I hate Garland got injured. I don't even know if Garland's going to return to Cleveland, though. I don't know. But they had a great year. They just looked like a regular season team due to the injuries and them running into Indiana. Liam West, can I join on TikTok? There's my little man out of LA. Kareem said, could the Cavs send Jared Allen to the Lakers? I don't know why they would do that. Trades like that tells me the league is rigged. Why would they do that? Why? They need Jared Allen. Or is he a free agent? And boy, could you imagine Jared Allen with the Lakers though? That sounds a little dangerous to me. All right, let me catch up with TikTok for a minute here. I want to say what's up to Brian. Derrick Henry in the building. Are you a Grizzlies fan? Yes, I am, Derrick. I like the name too. Let's see here. Catching up. Yes, I'm a Grizzly fan, Derrick. Thank you for joining me. Is Ja Morant the best shooter? No. I wish he was a better shooter. But he's not. He's not even the best shooter on our team. It's Triple J. Brian, you a 49ers fan? Yes, I am, baby. Yes, I am. KD got traded to the Rockets. That's right. I don't even have a name for you, man. That's just an emoji. What's your favorite NFL team, says Brian? It's the 49ers. I think Giannis is a Warrior, says C. Tyson. Why? Why do you think that? I mean, I thought they said that he wasn't going anywhere. KD Wash Brother says Issa, he kinda is. I just try to be nice. I'm not a fan of KD. Haven't been since he went to the Warriors. Even though I knew he was a bad boy then, but he ain't quite that same KD. Here's why this is the good trade, though. Because even though he's not washed now, he's still averaging 27. But sometimes it does look like he's a little rinsed because he doesn't give you a full season. He's going to miss games. He's going to start bitching and complaining and wanting out. But even if he was a little rinsed, he doesn't need to be the same Kevin Durant because of the team that he just went to. And Udoka is a damn good coach. That's why he got extended. And that was an FU to the Knicks. That's why he got that extension. The Knicks are winning the finals, gang, says Ant. Okay. All right. With the same squad, or they're going to make a move here in this offseason, free agency? I think that Giannis is going to the Bay, says Tyson. I hear you, but what are the Warriors going to give up for Giannis? What are they going to give up? And what would make Giannis want to go there when everybody's saying he wants to stay in the Eastern Conference? And it seems like he wants to stay in Milwaukee. The Hawks need Durant, says TJ. Well, that's not going to happen this year. Devin Booker to the Celtics. They're not going to trade him. Drew Holiday for Devin Booker. Thoughts? They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Now, Drew Holiday is going to get traded. And possibly he could have landed with the Suns, but there was no 3-team trade. They were able to make this trade with just 2 teams. So I don't know what happens with Holiday right now. The Clippers are still looking at Holiday, though. And Booker, they're like he's just going to be a Phoenix Sun, y'all. They're not trying to get rid of him. Bad decision by the Suns, but I guess they still trying to run it back. They're not convinced. They're still stubborn, man. Jay Carpenter says OKC needs to bring Jalen Williams off the bench more, in my opinion. I'm not opposed to that, Carpenter. That's not a bad idea. The Texans are wait. What are you saying? Like have Caruso starting in his place, or who? You want Caruso on the floor with SGA at the same time? The Texans are gonna beat the 49ers. Thank you for that comment, Abraham. Yeah, we do play y'all in Houston. I may still go to that game. Are you a Rockets fan too? Or just the Texans, Abraham? I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong. Daniel says Pacers win tonight, 109 to 102. Okay, let me screenshot that. Damn. I'm trying to screenshot that. Just in case you get that right, buddy. 109, 102. Okay. We're going to see. Good prediction, man. I like it. Lucky Dog says hi. Hi. Yeah. I mean it. That's something, man. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Who you think is winning Night of Champions? Good question, Daniel. Um, well, we know John Cena's gonna still be the champion. He's not losing to Punk. If that's who you're asking about. And the King of the Ring, it looks like it's gonna be Cody now, even though I thought Sami Zayn should have been the winner. Well, my co-host Terrence said that they were gonna have Sami Zayn fight for that title in Saudi because he's, like half Canadian, half um, Arab, and I didn't know that. But anyway, looks like now they're gonna have Cody winning because I don't think Orton's gonna win the King of the Ring. I think it'll be Cody, and they're setting up Cody versus Cena too at SummerSlam. So that's my thoughts on Night of the Champions. SmackDown was pretty boring again last week, Friday. I know I didn't come in to do the post show, but everything was pretty bad except for the last 10 minutes of the show. Everybody knows about the John Cena pipe bomb reenactment that he did of CM Punk from 14 years ago. That was great. That was the best John Cena heel moment that we've had thus far. It's been pretty shitty, but that was all right. Maybe he's finally starting to get his groove, or maybe somebody's finally starting to write, because I heard that Cena was kind of doing this himself, and it looked like he was winging it, and it looked like they booked themselves into a corner. It didn't look like they had a plan. Everything just has kind of been screwed since WrestleMania. But that Friday night, the last 10 minutes of the show, was the best part of the night. That was good. Don't like how they did the DQ with him and R-Truth and how that finished. I don't like how they're doing R-Truth. It looks like he's still R-Truth, not Ron Killings. But that's neither here nor there. I'll talk more about that tomorrow night after Raw. But thank you for that question, man. I'm glad to get some wrestling comments in here. That's what's going to make me do wrestling shows more, when I get these type of questions. I thank you, Daniel. Madness Machine says the Warriors would have to give up their whole future. That's what I'm saying. And that's why they're kind of stuck in this whole limbo where they can't really, they're kind of ending up like the Pittsburgh Steelers. They can't be mid. They can't be anything but mid because they won't be bad enough to be good. They keep trying. They have these stubborn ways. And I told you all when not Urban Meyer. What's that guy's name who just left and now he works with ESPN? Their former general manager. When he left, I was like, that's it. Bob Myers? I don't know. When he left, I was like, he knows that the dynasty is over. And it is. And the Warriors need to stop being so stubborn like the Phoenix Suns, who were trying to put together a championship team, and they don't realize that that's past. They had their shot in 2021. They blew it. Let's start it over. The Warriors are trying so bad to keep this championship window open. And at some point, they have to just be bad enough to be good. And I think they need to do some trading. They didn't need Jimmy Butler. Did he help them out? Yeah. But then they ran into Minnesota, and it didn't look like that was even close, to be honest with you, as far as, competition. But I hear what you're saying, and yes, they would have to give up the whole future. I don't even know if they have a future to give up. Kate Cutting said, if you don't think the league was rigged after Luka to LA, then Dallas magically gets number one. I know. Tell me about it, Kate Cutting. But there's still some people that are going to say it's not until their team loses. Then it's rigged. Fans can be so fickle. But good comment, man. That's the only reason why they made the Luka trade to LA, because he was promised to get the number one pick. And that's why he hadn't got fired. Because he was only doing what he was told. K Cutting gets it, y'all. He gets it. Okay, Daniel says, I say Seth Rollins cashes in and becomes the new WWE champion at Night of Champions. What about our tribal chief Roman Reigns coming back to stop him? Well, it'll be a failed cash in. What about that? Since he didn't stop him from getting the Money in the Bank, which he didn't need that briefcase, I can see Roman Reigns coming to stop him from cashing it in. Like he'll cash it in, but he won't win. Because Roman will come out and immediately bust that up. But good comment. I mean, look, Seth Rollins kind of has to win the championship, I guess, or else this whole heel turn and this whole faction and Paul Heyman joining his side really doesn't make any sense, right? It becomes irrelevant. However, what does Roman play? What part does he play when he comes back? Does he come back after Seth Rollins is the champion? What is he going to do, go to Raw? They haven't did a trade or anything, no draft. Is he going to get traded to Raw and then he's going to fight Seth Rollins for the championship? Is that how they're going to do it? Maybe so. But if I'm Roman, like just to say this shit is real, in the script, the way I would do it is, Seth, you just can't have your cake and ice cream too. Somehow you have to be stopped. CM Punk doesn't seem to give a damn about him anymore. He's moved on to John Cena. So I guess he's done with the whole Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman shit. But Roman hasn't came back and done anything. I would say that it would be you not winning that championship. You did all of this for that, to get gold. Gold that I had. And you want your crew, your fake ass bloodline, to help you be the champion for, I don't know, how long you think you're going to be champion? 1,316 days? No, you're not even going to be the champion one day because I'm coming to bust that shit up. That's how I would write it. But then again, we know that the creative team right now in WWE, they don't seem to be too bright. And they damn sure don't want to listen to anything we have to say. But I like these wrestling comments. I do. I love them. Keep them coming. Yeah, the Lakers fans, they lose, won't admit it. Yeah, the Lakers fans, till they lose, won't admit it. That's right. That's right, Kay. That's right, Kay Cutting. All right, Cade says OKC in 7. Well, we know it's got to be 7 now. Or maybe Cade has been saying that all along, though, I believe. Let's see here. Just trying to catch up here. Okay, Phoenix got fleeced. How you feeling about it, Unc? Thank you, Paul, for your comment. They kind of did get fleeced. They kind of did, buddy. And I would say because I don't want no damn Dillon Brooks. He can't shoot consistently enough. He's a headache. All he does is just get technical fouls and get ejected and start fights that he really ain't even ready for. He really ain't even about that life on that. He just tries to get into people's head and it doesn't work. I could deal without that. And Jalen Green, he cool, but I was watching Jalen Green in the first round of the playoffs, and I said they need a Kevin Durant. He was the reason why I was saying it. Now they did get 5 second-round picks and the number 10 pick for this year's draft, if that means anything to anybody. But I'm still with some of the people in my audience, especially Paul. I agree with you, Paul. They got fleeced. Daniel says, oh yeah, I totally forgot about Roman, man. Hey, you kind of typed that like Macho Man. Oh yeah. I know, right? When Roman has been gone for so long, it's easy to forget about him, isn't it? But I just remember Seth Rollins saying that nobody's coming to save you. At some point, Roman will be the one that will come save us from him. Cutting says that'll set up Seth versus Roman at SummerSlam. Yeah, they say that he's going to come back for SummerSlam. In order to do that, he needs a build, about a good 3 weeks to a month build. So that means if SummerSlam's August 2nd and 3rd, then that means he needs to be back by the 4th of July. And we ain't that far from that. So I say after Night of Champions, we should be seeing Roman Reigns. Maybe even the Monday after Night of Champions. Or definitely the SmackDown after, which would already be July. Or do they just let Seth Rollins win the championship and Roman comes back after that? I don't know, but I would say not. I think his time is coming up pretty soon. The whole thing is just, when are they going to let Seth cash in or try to cash it in? And what do y'all think about his faction? Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, all these Braun stuff. These guys were already on their way to being stars. They didn't need that faction. Remember when Randy Orton and Dave Bautista were a part of Evolution? They needed Evolution. We didn't know who the fuck they were yet. We know who Braun Breaker is, though. He was just establishing himself. He was just an Intercontinental Champion. He didn't need this to get into the championship picture, the World Championship picture. Paul Levesque is doing a terrible job, and y'all can't keep blaming The Rock for this shit. Y'all can't keep blaming TKO for this. You have to blame Paul Levesque And you have to blame John Cena. And I did love John Cena's pipe bomb Friday, but up until then, this has been terrible. And Cena's in the way. His whole retirement movement is in the way. I ain't a big fan of Jey Uso, but he shouldn't have lost the World Heavyweight title just because Goldberg wants to come back and have one last retirement match. What is this? The year of senior citizens in the WWE? What the fuck are they doing? The Bellas were coming back before Liv Morgan's injury. I like these wrestling comments. I like it. But we're supposed to be talking about Kevin Durant to the Rockets right now. But, man, look, these are good questions. And I appreciate y'all on this Sunday Fun Day. Hope all is well. Thoughts on AJ Styles? I love him. And they not doing enough with him. He's just having matches just to be having matches. And even though I like him, he shouldn't be on the Night of Champions card. Because him and Dirty Dom's build has been terrible. Do something meaningful with AJ Styles. And if you want to give somebody a retirement tour, give AJ Styles one more push on his way out. Because unlike Cena and unlike Goldberg, AJ Styles can still go. AJ Styles can still go, y'all. Where have you seen him slack at all? And AJ Styles is coming up on what? 45, 47? He said he stopped before 50 or by 50. He's getting close to 50. But you can't tell. Okay, today I'll set up, that'll at least set up Roman versus, I read that already for SummerSlam. Kobe's in the building. What's up, Kobe? My dog's name is Kobe, too. So, yeah, I hope I answered that question, Kobe, on AJ Styles. Sam said, I'm a Niners fan. Wise man, bang, bang. T said, Suns have 3 starting 2 guards. Jalen Green. Devin Booker and Beal? Are they all guards? Okay. But once again, they're still in the same position. All backcourt, no front court. No bigs. T, they lost the trade. Yes, they did. Ethan, Suns robbery. Yes, agreed, Ethan. Daniel, Gunther is going to destroy Goldberg. And I'm a Goldberg fan, but Goldberg is done, man. Exactly, he is. My brother's a huge fan of Goldberg, but I told him, man, this is not going to be anything to watch. Did you see him out of breath and limping to the ring? He could barely make his entrance. He's sweating bullets. He's got bad legs, a bad knee, a bad shoulder. Why did Paul Levesque call this man for his retirement match? They said that they had talked about it before Vince got pushed out. And then it never came back up, and then Triple H just decided to say, hey, you want that match? Did he do this just to get Jey Uso out of the picture? We know they never really had it in for Uso, but he was over like shit. So you had to do it, but if you're going to do it right. And they didn't do it right. And again, I'm sick of that Heat movement. But again, the fans love it. You got to give them what they want. Liam trying to get in this thing, man. I ain't got a lot of time, Liam. I don't have a lot of time today. I'm going to be here weekdays. I'm here every day, weekdays. Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Payes says, do you think Night of Champions gets canceled? Do I think it gets canceled? Hold on. I lost that comment. I just feel like Braun Breaker is going to snap and turn on Seth. He will eventually, but he didn't even need this. Gunther gains nothing by beating Goldberg. He doesn't. Do you think Night of Champions gets canceled because Iran got bombed? Oh, shit. Well, I haven't heard that, but that would be a good damn reason to cancel it, wouldn't it? I heard CM Punk did it because he don't want to go down there. I'm playing. Paul also says Gunther. Oh, yeah, I read that already. He's definitely gonna switch up at some point. Daniel, Braun Breaker will do that. He will turn on Seth, but it didn't need to happen. And he has no chemistry with the Wise Man. Triple H will be out of the company by next year. Mark my words, says Paul. I'm hearing that, brother. I'm hearing the Rock is gonna get him out of there because he really is the final boss, and I just think he's not doing a good job. And the Rock is tired of TKO calling on him for ticket sales and stuff like that, when he's probably saying, man, look, just do better booking and you won't need me for ticket sales. That's how all of this stuff started. That and The Rock didn't agree with Cena turning heel. So he said, all right, I'm going to let y'all have it. KHH says Durant hasn't won anything without the Warriors and not about to start now. I agree. Even though this is a good move for the Rockets and they're well coached, Durant doesn't lead anybody. He didn't make anybody better. He's the new Carmelo Anthony. A great scorer that can play basketball, but that's about it. And he wouldn't have any rings, just like Melo, had he never went to a team that was 73-9. I'm coming right back to y'all, YouTube. 1 second here. We talking wrestling because it just proves how much of a needle mover Kevin Durant isn't anymore. You right. You right, K Cuddy. Kobe said exactly. I agree with that, man. AJ should low-key just go AEW. Nah, don't do that. WWE just needs to do right by him. AEW doesn't need any more WWE talent, in my opinion. Debut at All On versus Rope Ray? I don't know if I get that one pays. Oh, Ospreay. I don't care about none of those guys, man. I really don't. I feel like AJ doesn't care. He's collecting retirement checks. He has nothing left to prove. He doesn't, but everybody else doesn't either, but they're giving him something else, so give him something. Goldberg is trash and always has been, says Black Matt. Yeah, I agree. Speedy Jeff, thank you for the roses. Black Mac, yeah. Black Mac says, wait, he went to the Rockets? Yeah, KD did. All right, y'all. He said he'll be fast. Should I let this little man in? He's like 15 years old. I think he's about 11. But he wants to talk again. He's joined the show a few times as a guest. Chef Momo said Memphis 100. Thank you, brother. We here. We up. I have Motion has joined the live and shared the live. Thank you, brother. Man, salute. Salute. Alistair Black came back for absolutely nothing. He did. Trash. I don't even care about him. Just having a bunch of nothing matches. So is Penta. They ain't doing anything with him either. Patrick Mahoney is better than TD12. Okay. Let little man speak. Okay. Big Red said Diddy. What about Diddy? When it comes to these sports, it is all about the Benjamins. Big Red feeling real Diddy today. Tyrone just joined. Thank you. Just moved to Memphis, so time to bandwagon the Grizzlies. Where you coming from? Where you moving from, Chef? Hello to Nikia. Everybody that's joining me, man, thank y'all. Thank you. All right, here we go. All right, West, you hot. What's up, Tom? I want to say hey to Tom first. Who you got tonight, my man? I got the Thunder winning. Hold on 1 second, West. I got the Thunder winning. Kareem said, dang, Sawyer. Sorry I had to leave. I'm back now. You like my prediction? What was your prediction? Hold on, bro. I just saw the trade. Drew Holiday to Atlanta for Clint Capella and maybe a pick. Is that true or that's your opinion? Okay. Everybody, man, Drew Holiday really is going to get up out of there, ain't he? Good morning, man. Says B-Ball Fanatic. How you doing, man? Thank y'all for joining me. Was at the club and had 3 Jacks and a Coke last night. I hope you don't have a hangover. John said Rockets gave up too much. Woo, you're the first person to say that, John. I'm going to come back to that comment in a minute. West, what's going on, Laker fan? How you doing, little man?
You see, I got yellow LED lights on right now.
I see some LA Rams stuff in the back, yeah.
Pacers in 7.
Pacers in 7.
Pacers will win it.
Okay.
But then, yeah, I agree with the guy that said the Rockets gave too much. They did. I think they could have kept the first round and maybe just traded more second-round picks for Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks. But I agree with you that Dillon Brooks is a bum. He is a bum. Dillon Brooks, I don't even know why the Rockets got him. I know why the Memphis Grizzlies traded him. Because if I was the Memphis Grizzlies coach, the first day he came on, I'm going to the team. Alright? And then the Lakers, we got that $10 billion. And that $10 billion, if Giannis does get traded, I want to get Giannis. I want to get Jared Allen. I want to get every big man.
So maybe y'all can go get that James Williams guy from the Hornets that you tried to get in a trade, but then there was something happened with the failed physical. Maybe you go back for him. Maybe you try to go get a Giannis. But and this is good stuff now from this little man. He's talking about that Tim Bill because the Lakers, the Buss family just sold the Lakers to what's his name, Mark West or something like that, Mark something, for $10 billion. And that $10 billion did give the Lakers a little bit more wiggle room as far as spending money. They had issues with hard caps, luxury tax, and all of that. And now they actually do have a little bit more wiggle room. So who knows what they can go do? Would Giannis want to come to LA? I don't know. It sounds like he doesn't want to leave though. So I think y'all need to be trying to get that guy from the Hornets or maybe a Bam out in Bayou. I don't know what you would have to give the Heat for him, but that's what y'all could use. And I guess I like Bam. I'm saying Bam a lot. Am I the only one who likes Bam out of Bayou in Miami? I don't know. Okay, but hey, y'all look. That's what I was just trying to tell everybody. KD to the Rockets is still a good trade. The Rockets are now better. The Dallas Mavericks will be better next year with Cooper Flag, Kyrie, AD. If you guys get a big, you're going to be good. The OKC Thunder better win the championship tonight because there's no guarantee they're going to get back to the NBA Finals next year. And you don't think they're going to win tonight. You just said you got the Pacers, right?
Well, I've been going for the Pacers. But honestly, I do think the Thunder will win.
Okay.
But I want the Pacers to win.
I got you. Hey,
it's sad that we sold our team because the Buss family, we've had them since Kareem. He's been our owner since the Kareem days. So, but I'm happy that we sold him because now we got $10 billion. We got even more money.
He's still talking about that $10 billion, man. You can tell he's in LA. He's in LA, man. All right, West. You got some bad news right here, though. According to Trusting God here on TikTok, he said Mark Williams doesn't want to go to LA anymore. And I believe that because, remember, he was tweeting some stuff. He threw a few shots at the Lakers after they got eliminated by the Minnesota Timberwolves in the playoffs. And I don't know what happened or what went wrong on why he didn't become a Laker. But according to Trusting God, he probably is not going to be a Laker, and he doesn't want to be.
I think Mark was like, he was injured. The Hornets just played him but he was injured, so we didn't let him come in LA. But that was probably the dumbest decision we could have done.
Ah, okay, so it was y'all's fault. That's why he doesn't want to come anymore. Okay.
He was injured, but the Charlotte Hornets were playing him.
But you still would have had him for the future.
We still could have.
Yep. Bad move. And now they sold. Maybe that's why. The Buss family made a bad decision or somebody. This is what I want to know. Is Pelinka still going to be there? You probably don't know that young man, but if anybody can tell me, are they going to keep Rob Pelinka as the general manager or whatever he is for the Lakers? I know Jenny Buss is not going anywhere yet, but what about Pelinka? I think he's kind of made some bad moves, and that was one of them, not getting that big.
I don't know if Pelinka will stay. I don't know.
Okay.
If he does, it's fine. But if he doesn't and he leaves, we should get a new owner.
Yeah.
Not owner, GM or some manager.
Trusting God said he failed his physical. Hey, I want to let somebody else in here one more time. Somebody else wants to come in, and I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see. Let me see if I get somebody else in here. Wes, thank you again for joining me. I'm here weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We'll do it again, okay?
Have a good day.
All right, buddy. You too. Man, that young guy knows his stuff, man. He knows his stuff. Let me see if I can get. Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought I had somebody else trying to get in there. Invites, sandbox. Anyway, Trusting God, you're right. He did fail the physical. But why do you think he doesn't want to go to LA anymore? He did tweet some stuff. KD is going to retire soon, says Nicholas. I wish he would have did it now, to be honest with you. But yeah, we were talking about Mark Williams to the Lakers, and the young guy just wanted to talk a little bit about the KD trade. Now, let me get back to what John said here on YouTube. I hope I haven't lost him. Dillon Brooks is a good defensive player, says back end child. He's okay. He's decent. Pacers winning tonight. What do you think of Desmond Bane trade? I talked about that last week. It's good for both teams. Good for us, good for Orlando, in my opinion. Okay, now, John, and I think I might have lost him, but I hope he comes back because I want to talk about what he said. Was it John that said it? Yeah, he said the Rockets gave up too much, and then he gave a prediction for tonight's game, saying that the Pacers win 121-116. He also talked about the young guy that I just had on TikTok. He said that's a smart young man. I agree. Isn't he, though? He's going to be my new co-host if we keep this up. This is like the third time I've let him in on the show. And that, the same goes for any of you if you want to debate with me and chop it up just for a minute. It's okay. Yeah, these days I've been kind of by myself here doing this great debate show, and I could use somebody to debate with. So feel free. Just like Little Man. He doesn't hesitate to ask to come on and get in. And again, grand rising to you, B-ball fanatic. So we got some Pacers fans, or we got some people saying the Pacers are gonna win tonight. I want to know why John said that the Rockets gave up too much. Do you like Dillon Brooks and Jalen Green that much? Or do you just don't like the fact that it was two players and a lot of picks? I think the Rockets had to do that because they didn't want to give up a Fred VanVleet or a Steven Adams or anybody like that. That's what I think. And so I think they just did that to sweeten the deal because they know that they really kind of fleeced the Phoenix Suns. So let's just add a little bit more of this on it. But, it's quality over quantity. So we're looking at the quantity, but I don't think the Suns got a lot of good quality out of that. That's just my 2 cents. But I would love for John to tell me why he thinks the Rockets gave up too much. Because he's actually the first person I've heard say that. I think somebody else here on TikTok finally did, but most of us kind of think that Phoenix got robbed here. That they just took what they could get. And they got quite a bit, but again, the players, they could have kept Dillon Brooks. And the fact that they were able to get rid of him, to me, that was just to make the deal a little more sweeter. How old is the caller? He says he's 50. He says he's 13 or 15. 13. John, to answer your question. I hope you're back too, John. I hope that's you. Kessler makes sense. Stand your ground, kid. Yeah. I think the Pacers pull it off by 4 to 6 points, says B-Ball Fanatic. John said it's dope to hear a young man talking sports. It is, man. It is. That's why I keep bringing them in here. B-Ball says, you see my score? Okay, they're talking amongst each other. John, tell me, though, why you think the Rockets gave up too much. KD good for 2 years. Okay, yeah, he's here. He's back now. So let's get to this. B-Ball Fanatic said, my Spurs didn't get Giannis or KD. I feel like Wemby is going to get exposed next season if he keeps shooting unnecessary three-pointers. That's a good take, man. That's a strong take, but it's a good one. You did miss out on KD. It looks like you're going to miss out on Giannis. I don't know what to say there, man. It ain't over with, though. We still got free agency that's just about to start. It hadn't even really got off underway yet, but it's coming. So, I don't know. We'll see. Don't give up on your guys just yet, though. My brother's a Spurs fan. He was like, FKD. I don't want him now. I wanted him like 7-8 years ago. That didn't happen, so I understand him. He wanted Giannis, but I'm not sure if Giannis and Wemby were a good fit together, to be honest with you. KD was needed in San Antonio more for spacing than they needed Giannis because he's not a shooter, and we know what he can do. But I think they would find Wemby on the perimeter more than he needs to be. I heard Wemby bulked up a little bit, though. He's got up to like 225 or something. Good for him. Okay, now, John said, here's his reason on why he thought the Rockets gave up too much. He said, Brooks is a solid piece. I guess he's solid. Green, young. Okay, Jalen Green. Jalen Green is young and still can hoop. And a lot of good picks in the top 10, plus 5 more picks. And those 5 picks are second-round picks, though, John. And Jalen Green is young. And, yeah, he can hoop a little bit, but he's still not the best scorer. Like I said, I'm going to say this again. You're not I'm not gonna say you're wrong, but I disagree respectfully. Only because when I was watching the Rockets against the Warriors in the first round of the playoffs, I was watching the Rockets saying they need a Kevin Durant. KD good, but they need a Kevin Durant. I mean, Jalen Green, he's cool, but and the brother be painting his nails and shit. I'm not fond of anybody paint any man painting their nails. Like, he lost some cool points for me watching him do that. I'm not saying that makes him play bad, but he was kind of bad. He could finish at the rim, but his jump shots were, man, he could have built a whole other house as many bricks as he was putting up there. And that's why I think him and Brooks, that wasn't bad. I'm much happier that they were able to keep Van Vliet. If I was a Rocket fan, I would be ecstatic right now that we were able to keep him, because I almost knew for sure the Phoenix Suns were going to want Fred Van Vliet, because the Suns don't have a point guard. Booker plays point guard sometimes, and the ball shouldn't be in his hand as much as it is. Phoenix Suns are being stubborn. They should be trading Devin Booker too and really make this NBA offseason exciting and thrilling, but they're not. But they should be. And I don't think they got any better, but they kind of look like the Orlando Magic. They've got like 2 spades. They got 2 books and 2 possibles if they were playing spades. The 2 possibles are Dillon Brooks and the draft picks. The books is Jalen Green and, just the fact that he's now added to the backcourt with Devin Booker. But that's just my take. And Liam West says he's 13. That's correct. That was the one who was just on TikTok that you were listening to. So yeah, he's 13. Out there in LA. Big Laker fan and Rams fan. We like you, man. Thank you, little man. John said KD is a win now move, but they still not winning the West. It is a win now move, and that's why it's a good move. And I don't think they'll win the West, but here's why I'm giving them a chance, John. I love their head coach. I love the team. And they didn't have to give up much to add KD. They gave up 2 players that I was watching in the playoffs, and I said, they ain't got enough. They can't score enough to beat the Warriors. And it took 7 games. They should have beat the Warriors. They can do that now with KD. And again, I don't think necessarily they will win the West, but I think with the Rockets being better now, the Dallas Mavericks will be better next season. This is the reason why OKC has to win the finals tonight. Because there may not be a dynasty. They may not even get a championship. What if the Lakers do get a bid? What if the Minnesota Timberwolves figure out what to add with Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle? What if they trade Rudy Gobert for a big that can score more in the paint? Yeah, you'll be losing some defense. You won't have that rim protector, but just what if they took a chance at that? I'm not saying they should, but what if they do? He says, so you don't like Jared McCain? I'm sorry, John. I don't even know who that is. I don't think Suns are done. I do. We're going to have to agree to disagree on that. Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. Don't know what the hell happened to Bradley Beal. They got too many backcourt players. All these guards. Where's the big? They haven't had one since they let go of, what's his name? The one who went to Portland. Damn, I can't think of his name. Ayton. DeAndre Ayton. They haven't had a big since he left. Not a true big. And this is why I never gave KD, Booker, and Beal a thought in my mind that they will win the West or do anything significantly good. I didn't think so. And I think the Suns are being stubborn. They need to blow this shit up. The Phoenix Suns need to blow it up. But at least they got a championship out of theirs. They got way too many big contracts, man. The Celtics got like a cap space right now close to $500 million. That's why they're trying to move Holiday. That's why Porzingis may not come back. They're trying to figure out what this team is going to look like during a reset for the year that Tatum does come back healthy. I'm sorry, John. I can't agree with you with the Phoenix Suns, though. I think that they should be blowing this up. Liam, you should start a channel. He probably will be doing it pretty soon. B-Ball Fanatic said, True West is still loaded. Yep. John said, for the Sixers, Okay, for the Sixers, okay. I don't know much. I don't know who that is, man. I'm sorry. But I do know that the Sixers are going to run it back next year with Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey. That is a big three if they're all healthy, but they have to be healthy. So I think that Giannis better think about that too while he wants to stay in the Eastern Conference. We'll see how that works out. West said Dolphins should make a trade for Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. I would take one of them. I can't get both, but I would take one. Tyreek Hill would be the one that I would prefer. But the 49ers are trying to get young and cheaper. And Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey are neither one of those, unfortunately for my Niners. But Jalen Ramsey's about to get traded, y'all. That's coming. That's coming pretty soon here. He's going to be traded before the Dolphins show up for training camp. I know that. And so we still got about a little over a month before we get to training camp. I was saying the next week or two. Jalen Ramsey is probably going back to the LA Rams. And I know West, I know you like that little man. But he prefers the West Coast, and I can't think of anywhere else other than the Rams. Maybe the Chargers, if they're looking. Maybe my Niners, but I don't think we're even looking. Jared McCain would have been the rookie of the year if he didn't get hurt, says John. Oh, okay. Okay. Where did McCain come from? I'm saying done as in trading. Okay. I got you, John. Jalen Ramsey doesn't want to be in Miami, and Tyreek is just a good asset for trades. Yep. B-Ball Fanatic said Canelo Crawford going to be lit. Hey, I'm going to be talking about that more, too, this week on this channel. Please tune in, because I got some stuff for you. I got some heavy stuff for you that just came out. They had a press conference this weekend, and it's definitely official. Las Vegas, and I'm going to try to be down there to be a part of the media, the press, and cover that fight. But there's some things that's going on right now. It looks like they're trying to make some excuses for Canelo already. Y'all, I done already told y'all, I think that Canelo's going down. I think Crawford remains undefeated, and he's trying to make history here. Best pound-for-pound boxer in the world. I think he wins this fight and shocks the world. And people are starting to tell me now that Crawford actually doesn't look as small as we thought. They're trying to make it look credible. They don't want you to discredit Canelo Alvarez for his victory if he wins. If he's victorious September 13th in the mega fight between Canelo and Crawford. But don't worry, he won't. I'll break that down and cover that fight more as we get on with this week. I just wanted to get these NBA Finals over with, which we're really close to doing. But it is going to be lit, B-Ball, for real, and I can't wait. I got Canelo in 10 or 11, says John. Me and John disagreeing a lot today, but I do love your comments, and I appreciate it, brother. We'll be able to talk about it. We'll talk about who's right, who's wrong. But no, I disagree. I think Crawford wins, and I think if they don't try any bullshit, I think it's a TKO. I think it's a KO. Somewhere around rounds 8 through 10. I think he can drop Canelo. People are gonna get enough of betting against Terrence Crawford. He thrives off of that. He does. Now, if everybody starts saying he's gonna win, I don't know. He may get laxed and get his ass whooped. I'm not saying he can't get hurt in this fight, but I'm not picking Canelo to win. I've always thought Canelo is kind of overrated, but it's hard to hate on Canelo because he's a good dude. He has the utmost respect for all his opponents. He never trash talks. He never gets any of that. He just backs it up in the ring. I respect the fuck out of that. Not gonna lie. But he ain't never been in the ring with this type of dude. Minnesota Dad, welcome back. He said, I'd take Jalen to my Vikings. Jalen? Oh, Jalen Ramsey. Yeah. I'm sorry, we all over the place today, y'all. We're doing WWE comments. I'm answering those. Football, Jalen Ramsey, Tyreek Hill, basketball, KD's a Rocket. And somebody said on TikTok that we're talking about other sports because KD ain't that dude anymore. And I can't argue with him at all. That was a damn good comment. But Minnesota Dad said, I would take Jalen Ramsey to the Vikings. I bet you would, and that would be great for the Vikings too. I like the Vikings. Is your quarterback ready to lead a win-now team, though? In the rookie J.J. McCarthy, that is. Bub is in the building and says, when is Game 7? It's tonight, 8 Eastern. Leon West said Duke. Oh, man, you're a Duke fan? Lip 55 said, what's good, Cards? What's up? Lil Sip 55, what's up? How you feeling? How you doing, brother? Hope all is well. That person knows me to call me Cards. That name sounds familiar too. John said Duke. B-Ball said true. John is Crawford better than Canelo? Opponents like Triple G and Jacobs. Yeah. Crawford is better. Crawford's going to win that fight. In my opinion, he's going to win. Did you see John Jones retired? I did see that. And I saw Jake Paul give him his flowers. Deservingly so, rightfully so. But did you hear Daniel Cormier, whatever his name is? You know, the legend, UFC legend, commentator. Did you hear what he said? He said John Jones only retired because he's ducking Aspinall. What's his name? Ben Aspinall. I don't know much about him, but he's now the new heavyweight UFC champion due to John Jones, forfeiting the title because he's retired. Do y'all think that he's ducking that dude? Or do you think he was just ready? He was forced to retire because he wouldn't negotiate that fight with Aspinall. Daniel Cormier is saying that he's scared of him, and that's why Dana White has came out and said that John Jones is not ducking anybody. They just couldn't get the fight done. And so he was kind of pushing that to get done so we can move on. And so he just went ahead and relinquished that title, which is the rightful thing to do. Amanda Nunes is unretired. She's coming back. I got to talk more about her too. When this Game 7 is over with, we got a lot of more shit to talk about. We do. We got a lot more shit to talk about. So I'm gonna keep some content coming for y'all in the month of July. That's usually a boring month for us unless you watch MLB. But with this boxing fight with Canelo and Crawford, John Jones retiring, and Amanda Nunes unretiring, there's still plenty to talk about. And of course, we got the SummerSlam build after Night of Champions. John Cena's heel turn finally trying to get good, I guess, after the pipe bomb that he dropped Friday night. So we got plenty of more things to talk about. But again, going back to what dude said on TikTok, we're not talking about the Kevin Durant trade anymore. So maybe Kevin Durant isn't worth talking about, because we're talking about literally everything but that. I still think the Rockets got a good trade. I don't think they really got used. It looks like they gave up a bit, but the players, I'm not fond of those players that they lost, so that's why I ain't tripping. But if you add those players with Booker and Beal, that don't look bad for Phoenix either. But the Phoenix Suns just need to know when they've lost their tie in their shirt. Just go ahead and just quit while you're ahead. And they're too stubborn to realize that. Okay. All right, y'all. I got to get on up out of here. Sunday fun day. This was just an emergency podcast. I wasn't planning on being here an hour, but it is what it is. Y'all got some good questions, so I've been wanting to, engage with you all. I hope y'all like the video. Give me the thumbs up and share these live streams. This is what helps me out in the algorithm. I'm way down here and I'm trying to come up to here. I need you all to help me out with that by hitting the like button and following on TikTok. Okay, I'm coming back to TikTok. They saying a lot of stuff here that I want to read. Canelo not getting stopped. Chin too strong, says John. Yeah, but his chin has never been punched by Terrence Crawford. And Canelo is the new Floyd Mayweather Jr., y'all. He's picking his fights. The only reason why he actually accepted this fight is because he thinks he can win it, because Bud Crawford is moving up practically 3 weight classes. Stop betting against Crawford, y'all. I'm telling you, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. I don't think Canelo could beat the other dude, what's his name? Benavidez. I don't think he can beat him. And he won't fight him. He's picking these fights and he thinks he can win this fight because of the weight class. And I still won't be surprised if we hear about a failed drug test or some type of PED again. We know Canelo's known for that shit. Can we stop overlooking that? That's all I'm saying. All right, West said Dana White literally said to the media he retired. Yeah, he retired. Liam, you know why? No, I think it was after the fight. I forgot why. Minnesota Dad, if you believe the local sports writers, JJ is ready to take us to the Super Bowl. But being a Vikings fan for 40 years, I like to see him take at least a couple of snaps first. I hear that, Minnesota Dad. I hear that, bro. And again, I'm not hating on the Vikings. I like the Vikings. They're a damn good team. One of the best playbooks on Madden that they have, too. Kevin O'Connell. One of my favorite coaches and play callers in this league. What he did to Sam Darnold last year, getting 14 wins out of that, man, that was impressive. And I ain't easily impressed, okay? So I'm going to say this. The only reason why I'm making this a big deal on this show is because it reminds me of my 49ers in 2021 when Trey Lance was asked to take over as a rookie for a team that's in win-now mode and had just been in the Super Bowl a few years prior. We know how that worked out, and I'm not saying he's Trey Lance. I'm just saying he's in the same position. That's a lot to ask for, a lot of pressure. But they're saying he is a leader. So I can't wait to see how that works out. I can't wait to see. But Aaron Rodgers had questions and doubts. That's why he would have much rather have been a Viking. That didn't work out. The Vikings said, nah, we don't want to mess up his development and none of that. We don't want the drama, and we're straight. We'll pass. Kudos to the Vikings for doing that. But they only done it because I think McCarthy was a top 10 draft pick. Okay. Oh, John Jones got another DUI, says John. Maybe. Yeah, that is crazy. Thoughts on Sanders, 2 speeding tickets in 2 weeks? I don't care. Wow, let's stop talking about that. I broke the news when it happened. The same day that he had a speeding ticket for 101 miles an hour, Zach Edey, center for the Grizzlies, did the same shit in Indiana. 101 miles per hour also. Why is nobody talking about Edey? Let's just talk about Prime's boy. That's what they do. That's the media. I ain't the media, though. I mean, somewhat, but I'm not the national media. So I ain't going to do that. I don't know. They didn't find any drugs. They didn't find any alcohol. So it is what it is. He's a good kid. He just needs to slow down. But hell, all these motherfuckers around here is speeding. Not just the ball players. But he's wrong. But I just refuse to talk about that, and we ain't going to talk about Zach Edey. He did the same thing. And I don't know why that big motherfucker was in a Kia. Y'all know Zach Edey, a big boy. He was speeding in the state of Indiana in a Kia. I may go to SmackDown next month, but those TKO prices are off the roof. I'm not going back to SmackDown again. No time soon. Yep. No time soon. I got this chair from going back in February. Steve Young. All right, I'm going to fix him. I got you, boy. I got you, Steve. My bad. Trying to show you my WrestleMania, Road to WrestleMania belt, but I got that at the FedEx Forum. Paid a nice little grip for them seats. I ain't doing that again. So, but good luck to you. I hope you enjoy, even though I'm sure you won't. And these SmackDowns have been terrible. Shadur Sanders got a speeding citation. Yep. Not a good look, says John. I didn't see the trade details for KD. Minnesota Dad says. All right. So Houston got Kevin Durant. The Phoenix Suns have Dillon Brooks, Jalen Green, the number 10 pick in this draft, and 5 second-round picks. Some people are saying that the Suns got fleeced. Some people are saying that Houston gave up a little too much. Your thoughts? Nice chopping it up, Liam. Definitely start a kid channel. I'd support it. John said coming up 2 to 3 weights is a crucial as well. It is crucial, John. It is. But Bud Crawford is just different. I don't know any other way to say it. I know you would probably want me to break down the scientific terminology of boxing and all of that. And I will. This week, I'll cover that fight more. But sometimes it's just easy for me to just say, hey, man, I think he's just a better fighter. I don't think Canelo can whoop him. And I just don't. I don't. And even though Canelo is a little younger still, Bud Crawford thinks that he's missed his prime years And he feels like, hey, man, I'm tired of the disrespect. So now that he got away from Top Rank, he's trying to fight anybody that he can fight that you claim is at the top, that you claim is the pound for pound best, and he'll beat him. He's trying to make history. And I think he's going to do it. I just do. I know he's jumping up 2 or 3 weight classes. I know. That's the only reason why Canelo took the fight. And they're already trying to make excuses now saying that, well, Crawford doesn't look as small as I thought. Maybe this won't be a problem for him. They're just saying that because if Canelo wins, everybody's going to say, yeah, but damn, you fought somebody who don't even supposed to be in this division. Crawford is a dog for sure, says John. He is. And again, I love Canelo. He cool. But it looked like he done lost a step or two, even though he's younger than Bud. Okay, I got to get back to TikTok, y'all. And I need to get out of here. I'm seeing ghost words of Sam Darnold. Trey Lance sucked and still does. He was the hype for a couple of years. Yeah, I know, man. But I'm not comparing J.J. McCarthy to Trey Lance. I'm comparing the situation. They're both young quarterbacks that hadn't shown or proven anything in the league yet. Hadn't even took a few snaps, like Minnesota dad said. And you expect him to come in and be the leader and take over a team that just won 14 games? They're ready right now to win and make a deep playoff run. That's all I'm saying. Now, instead of Trey Lance, he may be Colin Kaepernick. But even then, Colin Kaepernick had a ceiling, right? Because he blew it, he got there, he didn't win it. They took away the read option, and then the rest was history. And then he kneeled, of course, and protested that, and then we knew his career was a wrap then. Me and talked about Sanders. I can't wait until we get rid of LeBron. I hope he retires, says Raider Drox. Maybe the new ownership will get rid of him. We talked about that the other day. This week, go back and check those episodes out. I asked the question about LeBron's future in LA. The uncertainty of it now that there's a new ownership. All right, TikTok. T. Rich said Bud whooping Canelo like he did Earl. Man, thank you. Somebody with some damn sense. If you know fighters, if you know boxing, somebody please tell me why Canelo's going to beat him. Just because he's moving up 2 or 3 weight classes? And people keep saying he's going to get hurt because he's moving up 2 or 3 weight classes. Well, that means he's going to be heavier. I don't understand it. Will he be a little slower at 168? Of course. But that's okay, because the last time I saw Canelo, he looked slower. And Canelo on his best day can't fuck with Bud if he was in his normal weight class. That's just my 2 cents, though. I like the comment, T. Rich. And again, me and John may agree to disagree about who's going to win that fight, but he makes valid points, and I think I'm making some valid points as well. And right now, I'm not even breaking down the boxing terminology of it. It's just, sometimes you just know. What Pusha T say? If you know, you know. He's a good fighter. And I just don't think he's going to be denied. I wish he wouldn't talk as much as he's talking right now, because it comes off as him being very arrogant, but I think he's really just being honest. And I love his camp. I love his training. Bo and them guys going to have him right. Bo Mack and them guys going to have him right. Chief Momo said Memphis is trading Ja. No. Or what they going to do. From Twitter, it seems that Ja doesn't want to leave, and he's not. And I wouldn't be opposed to Memphis trading Ja if we got a good haul in return for him. Because I'm getting tired of Ja not making his shots and not being the shooter that I want him to be. He's supposed to be what SGA already is now, but a little more dynamic. But he hadn't put it all together just yet. Injuries, he had the suspension, knick-knack injuries and all of that. Not developing the mid-range, the three-point shot not being consistent enough. But we're not trading him, according to the Grizzlies. And they're working on an extension for Triple J right now as we speak. What's up, Gavin? He says the Cardinals are winning the Super Bowl this year. Y'all kill me. Ryan says rip Coach Wall. Memphis. Oh, I read that one already. Levi in the building. What's up? How do you feel about the Niners being a 92? A 92. Oh, on Madden? I guess. I guess I'm okay with that. I think we definitely will have a better year than what people think, and that schedule has a lot to do with it. Aponte Parker said KD should have retired. He's washed. I wish he had it though. For real, Parker. John Jones never ducked any smoke, says Parker. Well, that's what they're saying. That's what Daniel Old Cormier is saying, man. I don't know. He got beef with John. No, he don't like him. Didn't they fight each other or something back in the day? So maybe that's what that is. Just a biased opinion. Dana White did say John Jones is not ducking anybody. They just couldn't get the negotiating right. But he needed an answer soon, and, well, this is what that led to. John Jones is retired. Crawford knocking out Canelo, says Parker. There's another wise man, in my opinion. I agree with you, Parker. LTA Podcast says bang, bang. Got a podcast, man? Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good shit. Yankees. Sorry to hear that shit, fam. Huh? What about that? And I'm a Suns fan. Yo, I'm a Niners fan. Oh, okay. Parker said he's sorry to hear that about him being a 49er. What's up, Yankees? Bang, bang. Why didn't KD just retire? Could care less to see him play anymore. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Mandraw said OKC. The Juice Meter says, why does Memphis work out in a basement? That's what Desmond Bain they're throwing shots, man. Y'all heard, yeah, he's referring to what Desmond Bain talked about, the workout facility. Didn't have any windows. We called it the dungeon. They always throw the shots when they leave, man. Just like these WWE wrestlers, they get released and then they start talking shit. They don't have anything to say when they're getting that check or they're getting that, that exposure. 49ers going 6-12, says Alex. Damn, that's how you feel? Okay. Don't be surprised if it's 12-6. Suns got to rebuild. They got 3 shooting guards. They are the same type of players, says Ciro. Agreed. That's why I don't mind Houston giving them what they gave them. Trusting God says Jared McCain is better than PG-13. So that means the Suns are going to come out hard next year then, right? What does he play, the forward position? Small forward? A lot of people talking about Jared McCain here today. And I'm sorry I ain't never heard of him. Q-Dog said, I think the Rockets gave up too much for Durant. You sound like John Parham over here on my YouTube channel. Y'all follow both channels, please. And join in. I'm taking guests this week as well. Just like my little man, the 13-year-old out in LA, West. He's been on the show quite a few times. Y'all can come in and debate with me if you want. 88 says Devin Booker getting traded before the deadline next year. Nah, he's not. Well, he probably will next year, but not right now like he should. Cali dude was saying Aiden. Yeah, that's who I was trying to think of. Liam West, Dolphins should make a trade. Okay, well, yeah, you said that on YouTube. Got you. Jared McCain is chill. Man, this Jared McCain, I got to look this brother up. Jalen Green has so much upside. Just needs to develop. I agree with that, but the Rockets are in win now mode. They ain't got time for that development. They kind of took the LeBron James approach. Let's get it now if we can. I don't think they will, but you can't blame them for trying. I'll never buy the Jalen Green hype though, says Marcus Fernandez. Me either, brother. He all right, but if I was a Rocket fan, I wouldn't be mad at him leaving. Green and Brooks ain't no main factors in the Rockets for real. If you watch round 1, thank you, back in, child. Thank you. That's what I said. I watched those guys in that series, and I said they could use a Kevin Durant. And now they got him. OKC Thunder, you better win the championship tonight. The Rockets are here. The Mavericks are coming. The Lakers better not get a big. The Timberwolves better not figure out what to put next to Anthony Edwards. The West is deep. And I don't know. My Grizzlies still ain't just going to lay down. We ain't lose nobody but Bane. We still got one of the youngest team, one of the youngest, deepest benches, and a Scottie Pippen Jr. and a Jalen Wells Jr. We still have Ja and Triple J. Aldama is good on the wing. Underrated player that people don't give credit for enough. Zach Edey is supposed to be the backup big, not the starting center for the Grizzlies. Brandon Clark will be back. Even though I missed the hell out of Steven Adams. We're not bad. During the All-Star break, we were number 2 in the West. Let's not forget that part, though. So, we'll be back. We'll be back. I don't know where, somewhere in the middle of the pack. I can definitely see us being somewhere between 5 and 7 seed if we don't do anything else, but I don't think we're done. Those 4 unprotected first-round picks, I think that was for Giannis until Giannis said he ain't going anywhere. And that's sad when you would rather stay in Milwaukee than to come to Memphis. That's kind of proves Stephen A. right there. It's something why y'all don't want to come to Memphis, but no stars ever want to come. I was just saying that the players are safe when they do come. Nothing happens. Something will happen to me before it'll happen to one of those NBA stars. Trust me. Okay, great comments, y'all. I like a lot of this stuff, man. For real, for real. But what do the Rockets do next year now? Let's not worry about the Phoenix Suns right now. Dillon Brooks is little man super excited. Like, yeah. This kid doesn't know ball to his trusted guy. Yeah, this Mark Will. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I read everybody, and I think I got a majority of it. Now, sometimes when I go back and look after the video, it'd be a whole lot of more comments that I don't see. So I hope I got everybody. Do you think it's hard for Memphis to get superstars since the city is dangerous? Well, that's what Stephen A. said. I don't think it's so much of that. I think it's the fact that the city is dangerous and it's a small market. Small market plus dangerous is a bad combination. Versus Chicago, it's dangerous, but it's Chicago. It's still a bigger market. And so I think even though there's no superstars going to the Bulls either, but I think that's probably more organization-wise. We run a pretty tight ship in Memphis, but the Grizzlies organization has not been bad. The front office has not did anything stupid or asinine here lately. People think that if they traded Ja, that would be stupid. And again, they're probably keeping them more just for ticket sales, but come on, man, think about it. Why would they do that? Unless they have a backup plan that's much better. You know? Now, if the Atlanta Hawks picked up the phone and listened to us and actually considered trading us Trae Young for Ja Morant, I would listen. Because Trae Young is a better shooter than Ja Morant, but he's not a better finisher at the rim than Ja Morant. Nobody really is better than Ja at that. And he's not as exciting to watch either, but again, you know, hey, I'm not trying to, I'm not on Ja's dick or nothing like that. There's room for improvement. But I'm just trying to explain to y'all why he's not going anywhere. The Grizzlies are thinking just like the Phoenix Suns. Our window ain't closed yet. We can still win this thing. Let's see what else we can add to this roster. And those first 4 picks, they gave up Bane for a reason. They're looking for a bigger fish. And they don't have to be right now. But before the trade deadline in February next year, let's see what happens. And what if Giannis says, all right, I tried to stay, this ain't working. It still won't be too late to go get a Giannis or a, I don't know who else. But they need somebody that can defend on the perimeter. That's what I think they need more than anything else. I don't care about the scoring right now. We lost 19, 20 a game from Bane, but KCP and Cole Anthony, they averaged 10 apiece. So there's your 20. It just took 2 players to do it. I think KCP and those picks are going to get moved for a bigger fish, but we got from now till February to figure out who that big fish is going to be. That's just my opinion. Kingpin 21 said, let's go Rockets. Big Rockets fan over here. I like that. I like that. Did you hear how I read your comment? I read it the same way you probably typed it. With some energy. Because it sounds like you got that energy and you should. Because in my opinion, y'all won this trade, bro. When I was watching the Rockets and the Warriors in round 1, I said Jalen Green is no star. At least not yet. And Dillon Brooks, I couldn't wait for get his ass out of Memphis. So, I don't know what the big hype is, what the big hype train is around Jalen Green. And he paints his nails. Stop polishing your nails. I don't want to see that shit. So yeah, I think you should be happy. I don't think Kevin Durant is gonna win y'all a championship, but the good thing about it is he didn't have to be your number one option. You got Van Vliet, you got Sengun. Those are your number ones. KD is kind of a number 2 or 3 here. And I say that because I love the coach. Udoka is a bad boy. I think that brother can coach. That's why he just got extended. They were like, hell no, the Knicks ain't getting you. We're going to keep you. We're going to extend you. Do you think it's time for... Okay, now I read that already. Okay. So many players I'd rather have than Ja, purely because of health, says Ricky Dornberger. Hey, man, I'm not going to disagree with you at all on that. But who do we get to replace Ja with? Would you go for Trae Young? And if so, what are the Atlanta Hawks asking for? Would they just be comfortable with just a even Ja, Trae Young trade? Would they be comfortable with that? Or would they want more? I'm not opposed to trading Ja, but you got to give me something worth my while. That's all I'm saying. Jalen Green was very frustrating, says Kingpin. Exactly. For me too, because I was pulling for them to win. Not that I hate the Warriors. It's just that I thought the Rockets were the better team. But I needed to see them be able to do it without a dynamic scorer in the backcourt. And they didn't, and they couldn't. And I think Jalen Green is to blame for that. He should have been better. Okay. Big Mac, thank you for joining me. Kingpin 21, I appreciate you joining me. I got to get out of here, y'all. Are you excited for Game 7? Yeah, I am. Been a great NBA Finals, man. Let's see how it ends. Kristen is back. Hey, hope you remember me. I do. Kristen says that all the time. I do. Siakam Game 6 was on Undertaker mode. You know, I know you've seen it on social media already. They said if the Pacers win, they're going to call Pascal Siakam the Thundertaker. Have y'all seen that on social media yet? The picture with the Undertaker hat and he's got his eyes kind of rolling up in the back of his head? The Thundertaker. If he wins this, that's what they're going to call him. Social media is undefeated, as always. Too funny. Christian said, why you let me down? What did I do, Christian? John, Memphis is not giving up on Ja unless you want the whole city. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're not. They're not. They're not. It's hard to pack that house out night in and night out already as it is. Not that they don't do it, but I was there all season. There were nights where I got there and I was like, man, I'm leaving. Because as I'm watching the warm-ups, they'll display it on the big board. He's not playing on the Jumbotron. Ja's going to sit out tonight. Why? And half the time he wasn't even injured. It'd just be a lot of load management. Too much of it. And I think Taylor Jenkins did that to have him ready for the postseason. But he got fired because Ja didn't think he was touching the ball enough. That's what I think there was. So, I don't know. Let's see how the interim coach does. Let's see if the Grizzlies add that third big fish to go with Ja and Triple J. And if this year, if that doesn't work out, or if those two don't work, then I can see it happening. Because they're not going to give Ja that super max deal if they don't think he's worthy of it. They're not going to do that just to sell out. And if they do, then it'll show that they just want to sell tickets and merch, and they don't really care about a championship. That's what it would tell me as a fan. Who's your favorite wrestler, says Liam West? Of all time? Of all time? Damn, I don't know, man. That's kind of hard. Because I like wrestlers for so many different reasons. I don't know if you're talking all time or just right now. John said, where you from? Right here, baby. I'm in Memphis. Of all time, he says. Man, it's still kind of tough. Still kind of tough. Ric Flair used to be my favorite as a kid. He was my favorite as a kid growing up, but I don't know, man. It's between somebody in that Attitude Era. Stone Cold, Rock, or Undertaker. If we're talking all time. It's one of those three. I just don't like to pick one or the other. But my co-host Terrence, he'll never put anybody over Bret the Hitman Hart. Never. And he was. one of the best wrestlers, just not my favorite. John said all time for me is Stone Cold and the Ultimate Warrior. We agree on Stone Cold for sure, but Ultimate Warrior, nah, he wasn't my cup of tea. This is good stuff, y'all. This has been good. I appreciate y'all joining me. Wes said his is the Undertaker. See what I mean? How can you not? You can't go wrong when you say Stone Cold, Undertaker, or The Rock. You just can't. It's just that Undertaker had the longevity. Stone Cold, his career was shortened due to a neck injury. And The Rock, hell, he was just too good. So he had to go to Hollywood. And still people have him, some people have him as their GOAT or in their Mount Rushmore because, damn, he did do a lot, but in a short period of time. He killed it when he was there. It's kind of like 50 Cent. He killed it in a short period of time, but he was in and he was out. All right. I'm going to finish it up here and get out of here. Thank you, Big Mac. Thank you, Kingpin. We were the better team. We just needed a score, and now we have one in KD. See, I'm with Kingpin. Everything that he's saying, I agree with. Y'all let that Jalen Green shit go, man. He ain't in the cry over. Just like I didn't cry over Desmond Bain. And Desmond Bain is more of a two-way player than Jalen Green. Averaging 20. And I don't really miss him. Kane from Memphis says, you a 49ers and a Grizzlies fan. 100, 100, 100. Thank you, Kane. I am. Thank you, brother. Hope you following. I do this weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Live on TikTok, live on YouTube, and I'm about to do the same on Facebook and X formerly known as Twitter. Kane said, just got the number 2 gifter badge. All right. What up, Unc? What's up, Chippy? How you doing? Hope all is well. Rocco said, the great debater, 100. Thank you. The official said, Pacer Nation. Uh-oh, Pacer Nation. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate the love. I need it. I could use it, and it does help me out, like I said, with the algorithm. If you follow, share these live streams, share the channel, and again, subscribe on YouTube. Hit the notification bell. I know I tell you I'm here weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, but if you hit the notification bell, you're going to see me regardless whenever I pop up, whether it be the regular scheduled programming or whether it be an emergency podcast like today. I really did not think we were going to talk about so many other things outside of KD, but I'm glad that we did have that conversation because now I know that y'all are comfortable with me giving you content with not just NFL, not just NBA, but we had some WWE questions in here. We talked about Money in the Bank briefcase, SummerSlam, Night of Champions. We talked about Canelo Crawford, boxing ring. We talked about John Jones' retirement, Octagon. I cover all of that. And these comments let me know that you're comfortable with me covering all of that. Thank you. Because sometimes it gets a little quiet and I lose people when I get to talking wrestling. But the fact that I hear y'all talking to wrestling to me, now I know. So I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. But yes, John, I'm originally from North Mississippi. And they say that you're from Memphis if you're from Mississippi. The top of the sip, not the bottom of the sip like Jackson. That's what they say. I was born in Memphis, and yeah, I've been here all my life, bro. Sure have. Where you from, John? Where you at? I'm answering all these questions, and I ain't asking no question. Where you at, John? Liam West said, favorite rap song of all time? I don't know if I got a favorite rap song all time. I'm originally from Clarksville, Tennessee. Oh, but I lived in North Memphis for 4 years, but in Louisville, Kentucky now. Okay. Well, you've been in North Memphis, then you know quite a thing about Memphis, don't you? Clarksville, isn't it like West Tennessee? No, it's not. I know where Clarksville is. But yeah, good stuff, man. How is Louisville treating you? It's gotten rough in Louisville, too. That's what I was trying to tell people last week when Stephen A. made those comments. It's rough and dangerous everywhere. Yeah, I know Louisville's pretty bad. I've heard. I know a few guys from the jail system, though, out of Louisville, and yeah, they rough, man. Kevin in the building says, old man. You talking about me? Yeah, I'm old. I'm LA You know that. Oh, I know you are. I was talking about John, Liam. Who winning tonight? Give me the Thunder. John said facts. See? That means it's rough in Louisville, too. Oh, I like this comment. Blur. Blurt Loop says Dolph, king of Memphis. That gets a yeet. Yeah, man. Long live Dolph, man. Long live Dolph. Good comment. Good comment. Lita Torpedo by KO. Hey, damn, I don't know who that is. Who was that? Thank you for liking this video, Blur Loop. And yeah, thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Preach. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Reggie White in the building says tighten up. That's right. Number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward and the Titans. Let's see how they do. Titan fan in the building. Tighten up. Nashville, Tennessee. Raider Drock said, watch out for the Raiders. We got Pete Carroll. You do. And you got Ashton Genty in the backfield. I'm ready. Somebody please take the crown from the Chiefs. Somebody, anybody. John said Louisville is another Memphis low-key. Thank you for saying that. I got 8 Alive on TikTok in the comments, all because I took up for my city. I was just saying that, yes, it's bad. Not once did anybody admit that I said Stephen A was right. It's bad. I said Stephen A shouldn't have said it, that players feel unsafe, because that's the reason why they don't want to come play here, because they feel unsafe. They're unsafe in a lot of cities, I'm sure. Like, players literally right now are getting extorted and robbed right now, and they still live in the city of LA. But I get it, it's LA, the city of angels. Big chance, big opportunity, big everything. It's the big market. So like I said, I think Stephen A should have just said that a dangerous city plus a small market is just a bad combination. He could have just left it at that. The mayor has given an open invitation to Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. Smith said he's coming. I can't wait. I would love to interview him for a second. It'd be great for the show. It'd be great for the show. I need to try to contact the mayor. See, can he hook that up for me? Yeah, I can follow you, West. LA is bad too. I know. I know. Says the 13-year-old in LA. I know. That's my point. People just don't want to come to Memphis. I don't know. We've been cursed since Martin Luther King was killed here. Hell, I get it. But don't say that it's dangerous. That's why players don't want to come. Jimmy Butler went to the Warriors, but if he took a drive 10 minutes up the road to Oakland, he'd think he was in Memphis. Or worse. So he went to San Francisco. Do you know why they split up San Francisco and Oakland? It's a reason for that shit. Memphis had a lot of good arenas, a lot of good areas as well. Yeah. Thank you, John. That's true. And still do. So does Louisville. I got you. You should experience the Kentucky Derby one time. I've heard, man. All the stars come out too, right? It'd be nice to hit a nice little part. It'd be nice to win some money off one of those derbies too. Paul Gasol or Shane Battier are the best players on Memphis all time. Not Battier. Maybe between Paul Gasol and Zach Randolph. Even though I like Mark too. All right, y'all. I'm for real this time. I'm leaving. Can you flex for a Ja edit? Okay. Did you get it? I don't understand that stuff, man. I don't understand that stuff, but I hope you got that, Ganny. Go Suns. Okay, I hear you, Chief. Chef Man Sam. I hear you. I hear you, Sean Wilson. Thank y'all for joining me, y'all. I've been here for over 90 minutes. I've said enough. KD is a Houston Rocket. Your thoughts? Leave them in the comments. Would love to hear them. Thank you again. And I'm going to get on out of here. I'll be back tomorrow for the Great Debate Show. Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We'll talk about Game 7. The NBA championship team, whoever that's going to be. And we're going to start hitting the fast forward button, getting away from basketball, and start talking about NFL training camp, who to look out for, what players to look out for to have a breakout season. Canelo Crawford, we'll talk more about that as well for the September the 13th fight. John Jones has retired. Amanda Nunes has unretired in the UFC. Kevin Durant's a Houston Rocket. Yep. Randolph by far, says John. Yeah. And Zebo still, Zebo did a lot in this city too, y'all. Started a record label or helped the record label out. He did a lot. I mean, the way he moved around here, he didn't seem like he was unsafe at all. That's all I'm saying. Respect for the creative ladder shelf. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, man. I lost my Steve Young picture. I got to get that back right. I was trying to show my WrestleMania chair, and I lost my boy Steve Young, so I got to get that back right. But, yeah, I'm finna go ahead and sign off and pay some bills. Again, to all my black people, all my black kings and queens, I hope you're capping off a great weekend of Juneteenth. And to everybody else, I'll be back. Hope y'all enjoy. I hope I've got new followers, and I hope I have new subscribers. Until we geek again, y'all be safe out there. Peace. Thank y'all.